Hey guys, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. It's Beer 30. Let's go take a walk, see what's in the fridge today. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Hopefully this is going to be a big treat. I'll be honest with you guys, I have not been overwhelmed by what Mendocino Brewery produces. So I'm hoping this is going to change my mind. Most of the stuff that I've done for them have been in the little small 12-ounce bottles. And a lot of the breweries don't go over the top or brew something exceptional. They do a lot of transitional type beers to get the macro lager drinkers over to try something with just a little more taste. But as seasoned craft beer drinkers, and a lot of you are, and I consider myself that way with over 1,700 beer reviews, I've tasted a few beers, and they leave us a little underwhelmed because of the flavors. And I fussed about this, unless it blows your hair back or your socks off. A lot of the reviewers and people that write on Rate Beer and Beer Advocate are unimpressed. And I try to grade the beer for what it is. And usually, hardly any beers that's done by craft brewers gets an F. I don't even give Budweiser or Coors an F. There is a market for that, and it serves a purpose. And it's a cheap beer, and it's produced for the masses, especially the younger masses, to get shit-faced. That's basically why it's produced. It doesn't have a lot of taste. It's very cheap, but it will leave you with a massive hangover the next day if you drink a shitload of those. So, and I've been there and done that, drinking Budweiser for over 30 years. I've spent many a Saturday or a Sunday laying on the couch feeling like doo-doo. And I don't do that anymore, guys. I don't session beers anymore. Usually 2 or 3 every day, every evening, and 4 on a rough day, and then I'm done. But you got to realize you're drinking a 4.5% or 5% alcohol with those macro lagers, and a lot of people, after you've drank those style of beers for 10, 15, 20 years, it takes more and more for you to catch your buzz. Well, with craft beer, I mean, you can drink a 4% craft beer, or you can drink a 20% craft beer. Depends on how long you want to take to get to the hammer lane, or how long it takes you to get to your buzz on, if that's what you're after. I don't drink beer to get my buzz on. I don't drink beer for the buzz. I drink beer for the taste. And as a lot of craft brewers and craft beer drinkers will attest, I mean, you don't have to session those. And a lot of the young crowds still session or drink a lot of these craft beers because they're young. I mean, you can. I mean, they don't mind feeling like doo-doo the next day. Where I do. It hurts too much once you get I'm almost 60. I'll be 60 in January, so I don't feel like that anymore. I spent many a weekend feeling like crap, and I just don't do it. But if you're a young guy or a young girl and you like to get your buzz on and drink a bunch of either macro lagers or craft beers, by golly, have at it. I gave it up, guys. I got tired of feeling like crap the next day. So, well, let's get on with this one. This is Mendocino Brewing's Talon Smoked Double Porter, and this is a big beer. This is a 10%er. So, I mean, this will put you in the hammer lane pretty quick. And this is a bomber. It's a 22-ouncer. You drink all this by yourself, you probably should have your buzz going on by then. I always share when I drink either a 750 or a 22-ouncer. I always share the other half of that with my other half. So I'm not drinking a ton of 10% or bigger beers where I'm getting drunk or catching a heavy buzz off of one beer. So with that being said, let's see what this one brings. Hopefully this one will change my mind about Mendocino Brewing. Like I said, I think a lot of their beers are kind of transitional, so maybe this one will change my mind. This may be one of the bigger beers from them that I have done, being a 10%er. So, IBUs is not listed here on this, and I don't think it's listed on the label anywhere. They do have 10% alcohol written on here. But other than that, and the bottle is sweating profusely since I got it out. It's rather humid today. Got a little bit of rain showers going on there, so the humidity is pretty high today. So when I get these bottles out of the fridge and after I flap my gums for say 5 minutes or so, they are usually sweating pretty heavily. Commercial description says Talon Smoked Double Porter is a rich, decadent, deep smoked double porter, a perfect beer to keep you warm through the cold winter season. And stopping right there, that tells me this beer was produced for the winter. So I'm anticipating this beer was probably done last fall for the 2014 winter. Or early 2015, January, February, March. Still pretty cold in this part of the neck of the woods. So let's see what this one brings. And usually porters are not this big. Usually porters are a lighter variation of what a stout is. But being a 10% porter, this is a monster porter. It says to enjoy warm you through the cold winter season, or to enjoy around a bonfire in the rural woods somewhere. Talon Smoked Double Porter features a plethora of toasted and roasted barley notes such as caramel, chocolate, toffee, coffee, and whatever else your taste buds may desire, all tied together and complemented by a pleasant presence of smoke. So whether they've added some kind of liquid smoke, or they've smoked the barley, or how they're getting that smoke in there, or it may be a malt or barley that's pre-smoked before they brew the beer. There's a lot of different ways you can get smokiness in a beer. The complexity of Talon Double Porter is something to admire, and each sip can be different and exciting experience for some. Talon Smoked Double Porter is a beer designed to become better with age, so pick up a few bottles and stash a couple away somewhere to enjoy in the future. I mean, a 10% porter is going to keep for a long, long time, guys. It's unless the smokiness or the peatiness is what I call it, like a peat malt or peat malt. See, you get that bog or smoke flavor from a lot of those type of malts. So. We'll look a little closer when we come back, see if there's any kind of dating on this. I sure hope there is, but there's nothing on the label right now. I don't think there's anything else there we need to cover, so let's go over to the food pairings. This style of beer, the cuisine is barbecue, cheese is pepper, Monterey, pepper jack, sharp blue cheddar, your more pungent cheeses, and the meat is beef, smoked meat, game, and grilled meat and salmon. Glassware, pint, bacaronic, tumbler, mug, sinus, idale. I about give up using the pint glass unless I'm drinking a go-to beer, guys. When I'm doing a beer review, I like to use this glass, the Sovereign beer glass, or the Dougal glass, because the tulip shape enhances those aromas, and that's what I want when I'm reviewing a beer, to be able to smell what's in the beer, and that style of glass, this style and the Dougal glass with that shape, enhances those aromas. And I told you about the cellaring. This beer is going to keep for a long, long time. So without any further flapping and yapping, let's kick the cap off. Nice hiss. Very nice. A premium American classic from a pioneer brewing legend. This extra select brew is handcrafted for perfection. And we're going to go down the we're going to go down the center, but we're very carbonated beer with that loud pop. I should have guessed that from the pop I got off when I took the cap. So very carbonated. So let's slow down the pour. I don't want 10 fingers of head. A lot of times you can pour a 10%er and it won't produce hardly any head. And then again, you have a beer like this that produces a massive head. You never know, like Forrest Gump says, you never know what you're going to get. So, about a finger and a half of head on that. And through the thick part of the glass here, the big bulb part, I'm not getting any light. It's pretty dark. But looking through the thin part down here, it is a rich red ruby. And I can see the bulb through the thin part down here. So it's not pitch black, even though it looks like it is through the big part of the glass here. Down here, I can see the bulb through it, and it's a rich red garnet color. And I can see the bubbles down through the bottom part of the glass streaming up. So, looks very much like a porter in the bottom part of the glass. Very much so. So, let's get a nose on it and see what we got. Oh yes, very nice. I'm getting a nice caramel toffee. Not very nice sweetness, maybe some brown sugar. Heavy caramel notes. Slight smokiness in there, or peatiness, I call it. But definitely a strong sweet aroma on the malt. Very pleasant smell. A nice cocoa chocolate notes in there as well. Wow, smells good. Hopefully this will be the Mendocino Brewing beer that changes my mind. Cheers, everybody. That's tasty. The chocolate caramel toffee sweetness of the malt are overpowering the smokiness and the peatiness right now. But as it warms up, as I sip on it and let it come up to room temperature, the smokiness may come out. I'm getting more of that smokiness in the nose than I am the taste. But I am getting it though. Each sip, I get a little bit more of that. So by the time it gets up to 55 or 60 degrees, I got a feeling it's really going to come out a little bit more. So let me pour her a glass and sip on this for a little bit and see what we end up with here. But as of right now, I think this may be the best one I've had from Mendocino Brewing. So I'll be right back. We'll do the final chug. Alright guys, I'm back. Been sipping on this for a little while. I am getting the slight smoky peatiness to the beer now that it's warmed up a little bit. Nice, but on the initial aroma and even still now, the sweetness from either brown sugar or molasses is the number one thing that I'm getting, other than the roasted barley in this one. The taste is pretty damn good. It is pretty tasty beer. I would think this is probably the tastiest one that I've had from Mendocino. So, very nice. Very well done beer. Kind of disappointed. There is no dating on the bottle. I went to the dating site. It tells me where all the craft beers are dating their stuff. And that link is in all the beer reviews in the description. If you look into more info, it'll have that site for fresh beer dating, and y'all all can look and see where each craft beer breweries, if they're listed, dates their beers, whether it's on the bottle or on the case or on the six-pack or none at all. And according to what they say, Mendocino dates the cases only. Which is kind of stupid as far as I'm concerned, because I don't know anybody buys case quantities at a time, no matter even if it's a 12 ounce. Hardly anybody that I know buys case quantities of anything as far as beer goes, unless you're buying Budweiser, Miller, or Coors. You may buy a case at a time, but once you get into craft beers, hardly anybody buys that many of them at a time, especially bombers or either 750 milliliters. So dating a case is asinine as far as I'm concerned, guys. Just my opinion. So the guys in Mendocino, come on guys, if you're doing a bomber, date the bottle. At least in this style of beer, put the year on there somewhere so we'll know what vintage you're drinking. Because the craft beer stores, they get a stout in like it says 10%, they're going to let it sit on the shelf till the damn cows come home. It could be on the shelf 5 damn years, and you wouldn't have any idea whether it was this year's, last year's, or 5 years ago. So, just my opinion. Final chug. Very tasty beer. 10%, not getting any of that alcohol in the taste. Very well made beer. Very, very well made beer. A nice rich molasses, brown sugar, cocoa or chocolate taste in there. Nice rich, almost to the burnt characteristics of the barley that's used in this. Very nice. Very, very nice beer, guys. I'm just so disappointed that these craft beer brewers are dating cases or not dating anything at all and putting these beers out. Mendocino is a big enough brewery that they could date each individual bottle, especially when it gets to this size. Being a stout at 10%, it's not going to go bad anytime soon. But we would like to know what vintage we're drinking, guys. So we're going to leave it at that, because y'all, I know a lot of you get tired of me harping on this, but I'm going to continue to harp on this till every damn one of these people date their stuff. I mean, that's a stout, this big, give me the vintage, give me the year, so we'll know when it was put in the bottle. IPA, low ABV beers, we need a month, day, and a year. And if you can't do that, you're in the wrong business, as far as I'm concerned. So, guys, this is an 8 beer in a 7 bottle, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm giving it to 7. It's a B+, as far as I'm concerned. If I was putting a numeric rating on this, it'd be an 88 out of 89 with the information I have on the bottle. Over to Beer Advocate, they say 90, which in my scale would be an A-. They say it's an outstanding beer. I agree with that 100%. It is an outstanding beer. Probably the best one I've had from these guys at Mendocino. And over to Beer Advocate, Rate Beer. Rate Beer says overall 90 and 42 in the style. I think it's an awesome beer. I just wish these guys would put a vintage on this style of beer. So we're going to leave it at that. While they're dating the cases on bombers and 12 ounces or every other many different packaging things they do, I don't think I've seen a 750 milliliter from these guys. I don't think they do it. If they do, I haven't seen one. But you got to date the individual. Dating the cases is irrelevant, because those cases get opened up, the beer goes on the shelf, and the cases get thrown away. So how in the hell are you supposed to freaking know? Don't understand that. Don't make no sense to me. You might as well date the truck that's carrying it to the damn store, as far as I'm concerned, because it's like tits on a boar hog. It's useless. It's useless. So, if you had this one from Mendocino, I thought it was pretty damn awesome. But it had a vintage on it, it would have got the A grade. But it doesn't, so it gets the B+. So, with that being said, if you've had it, let me know what you think, guys, and let's go see what's in the fridge tomorrow. Maybe we'll get one with a date. Who the hell knows? Come on back. We'll see you together. See you then.